Now that Professor Maurice Kamto is out, we are going to look through some political mistake that he committed from 2018 up to date. And these political mistakes are fully responsible for him not running for 2025 presidential election. Professor Maurice Kamto is a vibrant, radical, popular politician in Cameroon, and he became second in 2018 presidential election after President Paul Biya. And immediately after that, we know there was electoral fraud. He was moving from one place to another, declaring that he is president-elect. 7 years came and gone. When Professor Maurice Kamto was moving around the world, he went to the United States of America, and Cameroonians came in their number to receive Professor Maurice Kamto, or to listen to him, or to explain their problems to him. Amongst those who came were Ambazonians, holding on their flag and wearing their uniform. When they came, they were stopped. That Professor Maurice Kamto said he cannot receive them with the flag, with their uniform, that they should come to them to him as Ambazonians, as Cameroonians. And this was the first political mistake that Professor Maurice Kamto committed. Professor Maurice Kamto claimed to be a radical politician, but you cannot do this, and you cannot fulfill that part in Cameroon without the Anglophones. When we talk about people who can stand up without any fear, we are talking about the people in southern Cameroon. These are the people in history. When you look through the history of Cameroon, they are the ones who always break the government of Cameroon. Multi-partism came through the northwest region of Cameroon, southern Cameroon. And from there, you can learn that these people are not the one. When they say no, it is no. Now, Maurice Kamto could have the population or the support of southern Cameroonians, especially the Ambazonians who are radical. And when he will stand up, southern Cameroonians maybe will be the one to start all issue to support him. But he said no to them, and they say no to him, seeing them. And it was a political mistake. The second political mistake Professor Maurice Kamto committed was boycotting 2020 municipal and legislative election. This is the main reason why his party, the Cameroon Renaissance Movement, was disqualified, was not eligible to run for 2025 presidential election, because he boycotted. And it was a political mistake. Many people say he knew what he was doing. He is an educated person. He is this. There is no education when it concerns politics in Cameroon. You have to use your brain, and you have to monitor your opposition. You have to know your opponent, the government, very well. If you do not understand their strategy, they will play you like as if you are a little child. And that is what they have done to Professor Maurice Kamto. Professor Maurice Kamto boycotted the 2020 municipal and legislative election because he was hoping that municipal and parliamentary election always come before the presidential election. So he would deny his own militant from becoming parliamentarians and mayor. And then he will accept them and will allow them to do that only in 2025, so that they will give him the ticket to run for. That was a selfish attitude, because many people joined the Cameroon Renaissance Movement because they also wanted power. They wanted to be parliamentarian, they wanted to be mayor, they wanted to be councillor, they wanted to be senators, and all of them were prepared for this. But in 2020, when this election was about to take place, Professor Maurice Kamto told them that the party would not participate in municipal and parliamentary election until the government will change, or the electoral code will be reformed and the Anglophone crisis stop. You have to remember that in 2018, Professor Maurice Kamto ran as a presidential candidate under this very electoral code, and when the Anglophone crisis was at the peak, but he did not complain about all these two things. When his militant came in that they want to, That is when Maurice Kamto stood up and said the electoral code is corrupt. The Anglophone crisis is going on. People are dying. That is when he realized it. And then from there, Professor Maurice Kamto hold on to it. And then finally, they did not go in. And then when he came in 2025, he said he want to run for 2025 presidential election under the same corrupt electoral code while the Anglophone crisis is still going on. And he did not care to. That was a political mistake. Number two, that it caused him what he is passing through today. And that is why many people are saying that what he is paying for what he committed, a crime he committed, the selfish attitude he put in place in 2020. And then the other thing that Professor Maurice Kamto make, another mistake, remember to subscribe to TFA Talking Points, is provoking the opponent. I told you people in many of my videos that you should not in any way provoke your enemies to anger when you know quite all right that your enemy is more powerful than you. Your enemy is having the knife and the yam concerning even your own matter. So Professor Maurice Kamto went ahead provoking the government of Cameroon. He knew quite all right that he cannot run under his party. He knew quite all right that there is no law in Cameroon that will allow him. He was holding on to that. He is an international lawyer. He knows the law more than any other person. The constitution stated in article that he will run. Confusing people, holding on to, and say even in Paris that nothing will stop him from running for 2025 presidential election. You are saying this kind of a statement to the government that care less about anything, that they can do and undo. They don't pity anybody. They don't work on emotion. Whether people are dying, they don't care. And then they say, okay, we will see. Especially when Atanganji is there. And then you went ahead, you put your candidacy under money then, political party. Instead for you to remain quiet as a politician, you came and said, you people have played the last card. You people have won. You have scored the government in between their legs. And then that angered them. And then they say, by all means, we will prove to you that we have the knife and the yam, and they have done it. That was a political mistake. That was a political mistake. Another political mistake that Professor Maurice Kamto committed is joining the Manindem political party without reading the history of Manindem political party. That showed that he was so desperate and that he was not thinking rightly, especially even including those who surround him. Because I do not understand that you can join a party without understanding and going through the history of the party to really see who is the president of the party. Is the party having any legal issue at the court? In which Manindem is having one, and he joined, and that is what disqualified him. Another issue is Professor Maurice Kamto always underestimates the government of Cameroon. These people are wicked. People are desperate to remain in power. They can do and undo, including even their own relatives, families, and children. They can eliminate them to remain in power, not to talk of you. They have no shame, and they have understood the international community, that the international community is weak and corrupt. So there is no way you will cry and you will go. They have hurt, and then they have experienced the humiliation internationally and nationally. So there is nothing that would disgrace them. There's nothing that would destroy their image. Their image has been destroyed. Everybody all over the world condemning them, so that they remain in that condemnation. They are enjoying their lives, and then you are there underestimating when you will hit like this one will be like this. These are some political mistakes that if Professor Maurice Kamto correct it, I don't believe it can even work, because the next president of Cameroon will change the age limit. Even if President Paul Biya will be there, he will change the age limit. So Professor Maurice Kamto